Let's check out the Molokai SurfSki World Championships. The race attracts an elite crew of paddlers from around the world, many of them Olympians, and as expected, the competition was super fierce. Now, Mother Nature added in a few curveballs to make it a bit more challenging. There was a giant south swell that affected not only the beginning, but the end of the race, and there was very little wind to be found in the middle of the channel.
So we're at the World Championships. It's the World Championships for SurfSki, and it's been going for 37 years now. And really, it's one of those iconic races that takes on the Kaiwi Channel, and that's what everybody wants to go across, you know. So it's 32 miles of great water, and then we finish at Hawaii Kai Town Centre. So over on Oahu there, coming here from Kaluakoi, all the way over, and there's just always journeys and always challenges that take part. Down here at the beach at Kaluakoi, the issue is the shore dump. So everyone's going to be timing. There's about a 6 to 7 minute lull in between. So then everybody needs to get their craft through the shore dump without getting nailed before their race is on. So that is a big challenge. The thing that is unique about the SurfSki is that it is really worldwide. We have people from Germany, from Tahiti, from Singapore, from Japan, from obviously the big names, Australia, South Africa, and of course from the USA.
It's going to be pretty flat. There's not going to be a whole lot to help us. Will the wind blow up a little bit more? I think everybody hopes, because at least then you'll get, you know, a little bit of a bump occasionally to be able to rest yourself a bit, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be quite flat. You're going to have to paddle the majority of the journey. What that means at the end and when you go for the finish line, who knows, you know? It just depends on, I suppose, how you're feeling when you get beyond that halfway mark and what starts to happen for you, who else is around you, what the surf's going to be like on the other side, what your guide boat's telling you, the line you're on, and, you know, there's so many factors that are going to play into that. Until you get to that halfway point, you just need to see where everything's at and how you've played the game up until then and what everyone else has done as well.
This is a unique event because the SurfSki is one of those sports that can incorporate people from all different water sports. It not only incorporates from the kayak, the SurfSki, it's also from the one-man, it's also from the six-man. Everybody who has trained in some other water sport can do the SurfSki. And the thing that's special about it is it takes in the Olympic caliber athletes. So we have a lot of Olympians who have come from the flat water kayaking and then they come to the SurfSki. But really in SurfSki, it's huge throughout Europe, it's huge throughout Australia, it's huge throughout, you know, all around the world. This sport is growing rapidly.
I mean, the kayak paddlers are certainly the best paddlers in the world, there's no doubt about that. They're the full-time athletes, they're the ones that train 3 and 4 times a day and have the budgets to be able to do it with government funding. So they are the big daddies of the paddling world, the sprint canoeists, but at the end of the day, you know, this is just a great crossover sport, it's a lot of fun. It also provides a good level of endurance-based activity that you can enjoy rather than just in the flat water all the time.
Just getting through that shore break was a tremendous challenge. Now, when the paddlers got into the channel, there was very little surf to be found because of the light winds. So a fierce battle quickly developed between Clint Robinson, Sean Rice, Corey Hill, and Hawaii's own Pat Dolan. We'll be right back with the finish. Welcome back. With over half the race behind them and the finish line coming into sight, paddlers at this year's Molokai SurfSki World Championships began to dig deep, looking for whatever reserves they might have left. And still, a giant south swell waited for them off the shores of Oahu.
The way to paddle this channel is to actually, it's not like a running race. You have to actually follow your opposition. And what I do, and I've done in the past 30 years, is always start off slowly and caught the people at the end, because that's when it counts, is when you're coming around Portlock Point and you've got to catch a wave at China Wall. That's when the race actually ends, and that's where you want to be in front, not the whole way across.
My strategy is basically just to go out the first half, just take it easy. Then towards the ending, if I got something left, I'll give it all I got and finish strong.
In a race like this, where it could be 3 to 4 hours, I think it's all about pacing yourself and not getting too excited after the first hour, and really being able to be efficient and hold off. And once you get a little off the wall, Portlock, then you see that top guys make a move, and that's usually the guy who will win, is the one who's saved enough for that last piece.
Well, the whole thing about the Molokai World Championships is that it's still the father and the one race that every person around the world wants to do, participate in, and every person in the world wants to win.
The challenge of, I suppose, human nature of, fighting for victories and all that sort of stuff always fluctuates depending on who you are, and what your experience and your history is. But I mean, for a lot of guys, it differs in this race quite a lot. Like if it's really flat, the guys who are going to be up there are going to be quite different to the guys that if it was really surfable, So it's hard to know. I mean, everyone that's paddling and done a fair bit of training wants to do well in the race, and where that is for them, they'll see at the end of the channel. There's a place around Portlock, about 500 to 700 metres long, that could make or break your race. There's no doubt about that. The wall's breaking pretty full on. It's probably going to be around about 6 feet. Do you take the risk and stay in fairly close and pick up a wave and try and hold on to it, or do you go wide and have a pretty secure finish? I mean, that's going to weigh up on how people feel and what risk they're willing to take, how much they're racing somebody. So, all those things are going to factor into the final decision.
And let me tell you, you can lose the race there and win it, because if you catch a wave that closes out and you lose your ski, you're going to swim for 3 or 4 kilometers. If you don't, you can actually make up 3 or 4 kilometers on the next guy. So the guys with the biggest kahunas is going to get through there, because it's big and you have to take chances to win races.
As much as the course plays a part in the channel, when you're coming to the wall and how you're going to take on a wave is really going to play a part too, where guys could make up a few hundred yards or completely lose it if they take off in the wrong area, or else there might be some carnage.
What an amazing race. Despite the brutal conditions, the finish was extraordinary. So many close calls. And sadly, Pat Dolan did not complete the race. In that final stretch, a massive wave broke his ski in half. At the time, he was in third place. Congratulations go out to all those that finished the race, and especially our winners in the men's division. It was Corey Hill from Australia in third, Sean Rice from South Africa in second, and Clint Robinson from Australia in first place with a time of 3 hours and 55 minutes. In the women's open division, it was Anna Matheson from USA in second, and Miranda Davies from Australia in first place with a time of 5 hours and 18 minutes. Congratulations once again to all our winners. For detailed race results, just check out molokaisurfski.com.